Very good morning. Today we'll discuss configuring of Cisco devices here. So in this chapter, we'll discuss Cisco LAN devices. What are the basic features of the Cisco LAN switches, networking devices, explain the features of Cisco router, exploring the Cisco IOS, how to use the Cisco IOS, using show commands to view the device status, and configuring a Cisco network. Build a switch or a router network here. Cisco LAN devices, connecting more devices. Generally, LAN switch provides connectivity with local area networks of the organization, while routers interconnect local networks and needed in wide area network here. In other words, a switch is used to connect devices on the same network. A router is used to connect multiple networks to each other here. Lower cost switches support only copper twisted pair interface ports. Higher price switches may have fiber optics connections here. So Cisco LAN devices, generally LAN switches are wireless device. A switch is used to connect devices on the same network, and router is used to connect multiple networks to each other. When choosing a switch for a particular LAN, there are number of factors to be considered. One is types and number of ports it supported, the speed required, expandability, and manageability. Cisco Catalyst 2960 series Ethernet switches are suitable for small and medium-sized networks here. They provide 10 by 100 fast Ethernet and 10 by 100 by 1000 gigabit Ethernet LAN connectivity. Coming to the switch, you can see these components. So this component is nothing but a status LED, shows whether the system is receiving power and working properly. The green light indicates the system is working properly, and the amber, the system is receiving power but not working properly here. So RPS LED stands for redundant power system, shows RPS status here. Coming to this component is 10 by 100 or 10 by 100 by 1000 ports. So 10 by 100 Ethernet port can be set to support speeds up to 10 or 100 Mbps here. And for 10 by 100 by 1000 ports operate at 10, 100 or 1000 Mbps. Coming to the SFP ports, SFP ports stands for small form factor pluggable, which allows for transmission of data. Third one. So a gigabit capable Ethernet SFP port can be used to support fiber and copper transceiver models here. The fiber transceivers support fiber optical cables. The copper transceivers support category 5 cables with RJ45 connectors here. The ability to plug into the gigabit Ethernet SFP ports allows the fiber and copper transceivers to be easily replaceable in the field should be connection go bad. Red of the switch, you can see a console port used to connect the switch to PC by means of RJ45 to DB9 cable here. So generally used for out of band management task. So Ethernet twisted pair interfaces on switch have defined the speeds. 10 by 100 Ethernet port can function at either 10 megabits per second or 100 megabits per second. Switches may also include gigabit Ethernet ports that support 1000 megabits per second here. So similar to switch port, Ethernet NICs, network interface cards, operate at specific bandwidth such as 10 by 100 or 10 by 100 by 1000 megabits per second. So many basic inexpensive switches are not configurable, and a managed switch that uses Cisco operating system enables control over the individual ports or over the switch as a whole here. So connecting to the switch, when the switch is on, the power on self test post begins here. During the post, LED blink while the series of tests determine the switch is functioning properly or not. Post is completed when SIST LED rapidly blinks green. If the switch fails post, the SIST LED turns amber here. So out of band management requires a computer to directly connect to the console port of the network device that is being configured here. Use in band management to monitor and make configuration changes to network device over the network connection here. A Cisco device loads the following two files into the RAM when it is booted. One is IOS image file, startup configuration file. So IOS image file is nothing but which facilitates basic operation of the device hardware components. So this image file can be stored in the flash memory. And coming to the startup configuration file, it contains some commands that are used to initially configure a router or a switch and create the running configuration file which is stored in the RAM. The startup configuration file is stored in the NVRAM, non-volatile RAM here. So all configurations changed are stored in the running configuration file and are implemented immediately by the IOS here. So we'll discuss what is the difference between out-of-band management and in-band management here. Out-of-band management requires a computer to be directly connected to the console port of the network device that is being configured. Generally, these technicians use this out-of-band management to initially configure a network device here. Coming to the in-band management, use in band management to monitor and make configuration changes to network device over the network connection here. So example, you can take Ethernet, Telnet, HTTP, SSH can be used to access a Cisco device for in-band management, for monitoring the network device or to make the configuration changes. So coming to the networking devices, Cisco routers. So all routers are essentially a computers, just like a computers. Generally, routers require operating system, CPU, central processing unit, random access memory, RAM, and ROM, read-only memory, non-volatile random access memory here, NVRAM you can say. So every Cisco router has same general hardware components, and these connections, console ports, you can see the console ports here. Two console ports, one is RJ45, one is a console USB mini B, and two LAN interfaces and enhanced high-speed WAN interface cards. These are all for the EHWIC cards here. So console ports is nothing but two console ports for initial configuration and command line interface management, access using a regular RJ45 port and new USB type B mini B USB connector. Two LAN interfaces, that is 2 gigabit Ethernet interfaces for LAN access, and coming to the enhanced high-speed WAN interface card slots, two expansion slots that provide modularity and flexibility by enabling the router to support different types of interface modules, including serial ports and digital subscriber LANs, switch ports, and as well as the wireless here. Setting up the router, we want to follow these steps. To power up a Cisco router, mount and ground the device chests, seat the external compact flash card, connect the power cable, configure the terminal emulation software on the PC, and connect the PC to the console port here. So turn the router, then observe the startup messages on the PC as the router boots up. The two most common methods to access the command line interfaces are, one is console, one is the SSH here. Console generally uses low speed serial or USB connection to provide direct connection or out of band management access to the Cisco device here. Coming to the SSH method, mainly for remote accessing command line interface session across an active network interface here. So aux port used for remote management of routing using dial-up telephone line and modem here. The console port is a physical port located on the router. When using SSH, there must be active network interface that is configured with valid IP address for the network here. So coming to the exploring the Cisco IIS. Cisco IIS command line interface is a text-based program that enables entering and executing the Cisco IIS commands to configure, monitor and maintain the Cisco devices here. To initially configure a Cisco device, a console connection must be established here. As a security feature, Cisco IIS software separates management access into the following two commands. One is the user executive mode and next one is the privileged executive mode. This user executive mode allows access to only limited number of basic monitoring commands. It may be applicable for either switch or router. It is often referred to as a V-only mode. Coming to the privileged executive mode, this mode allows to all commands and features. The user can use any monitoring commands, execute configuration and management commands here. So we also have another mode called as a global configuration mode. Is identified with the prompt that ends with the config hash after device name such as switch config hash, you can see. So this global configuration mode is accessed before other specific configuration modes. From global configuration mode, the user can enter different sub configuration modes like line configuration mode, interface configuration mode. Each of these modes allows the configuration of the particular part or a function of the IO devices here. So generally two common sub configuration modes include line configuration mode. One is the interface configuration mode here. Line configuration mode used to configure console and SSH, telnet or aux access here. Coming to the interface configuration mode, used to configure a switch port or a router network interface. For line configuration mode, the command is line console 0. To move from any sub configuration mode of the global configuration mode to mode one step above, it is hierarchy of the modes. Enter the exit command generally. Exit or end. To move from any sub configuration mode to privileged executive mode, enter the end command or enter the key combination Ctrl Z. You can also move directly from one sub configuration mode to another. Notice how after network device name the command prompt changes here. If it is a line configuration, it is changed to interface, config interface here. Interface fast Ethernet. So basic configuration task in the switch: how to configure device name, how to secure the user executive mode, how to secure remote telnet SSH access, how to secure the privileged executive mode, how to secure all passwords in a configuration file, how to provide legal notification, and how to configure the management SVI. So simple switch configuration. In this diagram, I want to configure this switch and I want to give some name for this switch here. So switch, first it is in a user executive mode. You want to enable for privilege mode. Then after privilege mode, to enable into privilege mode, you enter enable command, and after it goes to the privilege mode, after that you want to enter the configure terminal. It goes into the global configuration mode. Switch config global configuration mode hash. So now you want to give the name for the switch here, host name space S1. I am giving the S1 as a name for this switch, this device switch. Then secure user executive mode. Generally to secure user executive mode, I am using line console here. For secure privileged executive mode, I am using the enable secret class. Class is my password here. And for securing the user executive mode, I am using the line console in global configuration, line console 0, and I am giving the password as a Cisco. And to activate this password, I am using the login. To secure remote telnet SSH access, I am going for the line VTI. So the ports may support from 16 ports 0 to 15, and I am giving the password as Cisco and login to activate this password, and I can exit from this global configuration line mode here. And to secure all passwords in a configuration file, I want to secure all these passwords, Cisco or a class. So I can go for the service password encryption. Okay, service password encryption to secure all passwords in a configuration file. Then to provide legal notification, so I can use the banner MOTD, no authorized access allowed here. And to configure management SVI, that is the switch virtual interface, I am using the command called as a interface VLAN1. So I want to configure the IP address for this interface VLAN1. So I can give some IP address 192.168.10.50 and subnet mask 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. For this particular switch, you can see the IP address 192.168.10.0.0. So the class C, you can say this IP address is only applicable within the same network here. For banner MOTD, end with the character hash. Unauthorized access is prohibited here. So these are the security management access I already discussed. Enable secret class, line console, maybe from only for 4 devices I can give VTI 0 to 4, and to secure all privileged passwords, service password encryption. And I want to save the configuration. What are the passwords I given? I want to save the configuration. I can use the copy running config startup config here command in the router. And coming to the show IP interface brief command output, I can, if I want to view the information, device information, to verify and troubleshoot the network operation, explain the operation of the device using show command. Okay, now so generally we can have different commands for in a show commands, show IP interface brief, and you can also have show commands, show running config, to verify and troubleshoot the network operation, examine the operation of devices using show command. Show running config generally shows router or a switch current configuration. Show interfaces generally displays interfaces and their status. Show ARP, address resolution protocol, which displays the address resolution protocol, display IP address of a device. Example, show IP route shows routers routing table, that is list of all networks that router can reach, their metric, etc. You can say. Show protocols shows summary of configure routing protocol information, generally useful for quickly verifying how routing protocols are configured. Next one is the show version, displays how unique information, displays the hardware unique information here. So if you log into the router or switch remotely, show version command is excellent means for quickly finding useful summary information about the particular device to which you are connected here. So you can have the software version, iOS software version, which is stored in the flash. bootstrap version stored in the boot RAM, and system uptime, time since last reboot, system restart information, method of restart, that is power cycle crash, software image name, iOS file name stored in the flash, router type and processor type, model number and processor type, memory type and allocation, main processor RAM and shared packet IO buffering, hardware interfaces available on the device. So configure Cisco network. So basic configurations generally we have seen. Configure device name, secure the user executive mode, secure remote telnet SSH access, secure privileged executive mode, secure all passwords in a config file, provide legal notification, configure the management SCUI, save the configurations. Similarly, this may be applicable for router configuration also, same as a switch. So configure terminal, enter the interface command configuration mode for VLAN 1, interface VLAN 1, set the IPv4 address, subnet mask and default gateway for management interface. This IP address must be valid only for local network where the switch is installed. So I can give the IP address like this for the VLAN for the switch, IP address followed by the subnet mask. And to save the configuration, copy running configuration startup configuration command. So basic router configurations follow the same as a switch. So one of the most useful commands for verifying interface configuration is show IP interface brief command. The output displays all interfaces, their IPv4 addresses. You can see in the diagram all interfaces, gigabit Ethernet 0x0, their IP address, their current status, which is up or down. The configured and connected interface should be displayed the status up and protocol up. The protocol, the status of the port as well as the protocol. Other interface verification commands include show IP route, displays the content of IPv4 routing table stored in the RAM. Show interfaces, displays the statistics for all interfaces on the device. Show IP interface, displays the IPv4 statistics for IP interface on the router. Configure router interfaces. Generally, for routers to be reachable, the in-band router interfaces must be configured here. There are many different types of interfaces available on Cisco routers. Example, you can take the Cisco 1941 router is equipped with 2 gigabit Ethernet interfaces, gigabit Ethernet 0x0 and gigabit Ethernet 0x1. The serial WAN interface card consists of 2 interfaces, serial 0x00 and serial 0x01. Securing the device. A good practice, use different authentication passwords for each of these levels of access. Setting the password for console connection access is done in global configuration mode. This mode prevent unauthorized users from accessing user mode from the console port here. So line console 0, password, login. To secure the password, to save the password, login. When the device is connected to network, it can be accessed over the network connection using SSH or Telnet. SSH is preferred method because it is more secure when the device is accessed through the network. It is considered as a VTY connection. The password must be configured on VTY port. The following configuration is used to enable Telnet access to the switch here. Line VTI 0 to 15, and I want to give the password here. Password, any Cisco or class. Login. To verify the password and set correctly, use the show running config command here. So securing the devices, verify the SSH and configure the IP domain. For configuring the IP domain of the network using IP domain name, cisco.com, and for generating RSA key pairds to enable SSH server, on switch and generate RSA key pair. So I want to use the crypto key generate RSA. So I can give the bytes 1024, then configure user authentication. So for configuring user authentication, use the command username admin is a username here, secret, password is a CCNA. So this configuring user authentication generally used for SSH server can authenticate using locally or using authentication server. For local authentication method, we are using the username as well as the password as a pair here. Next, configure VTI lines, line VTI 0 to 15, and to enable this SSH protocol, VTI lines using transport input SSH. Then in a configuration mode, and the catalyst 2960 as VTI lines ranging from 0 to 15 here, and you can also enable the version here. So for that IP SSH version 2, like that you can secure the devices here. So configuring SSH, before configuring SSH, the switch must be minimally configured with unique host name and correct network connectivity settings here. Verify SSH support. To verify SSH support, show IP SSH command is used. To configure the IP domain, I already discussed. IP domain name global configuration mode command is used. To generate RSA key pairs, crypto key generate RSA is used. And to configure user authentication, username, secret, password is used. And to configure VTI lines, line VTI 0 to 15 and transport input SSH is used. To enable version, we are using show IP SSH version here. Securing the devices, to display the version and configuration data of our SSH on device that you can configure as a SSH server, use show IP SSH command here. Connecting the switch to the router, the default gateway address is generally the router interfaces addresses attached to the local network of the host here. The IP address of the host device and the router interface address must be same in the same network here. To configure default gateway on the switch, use IP default gateway in a global configuration mode. The IP address is configured is that a router interface of the corrected switch here. So we go for the practical. How to configure a basic switch. So I'm going for the packet tracer. So first I'll select the device. So you can see the different devices here. It may be routers starting from 4331, 4321, 1941, 2901. I'll take the switch here for configuration. 2960 switch model, and for this I can go for the preferences font. I can increase the font 16, already 16. Apply it. Then I can go for end devices to configure this particular switch. So end devices, you can see to take one PC, I just drag the driver, and connection a console port I am using RS232 to console port. So after that, just you click on the PC, desktop, terminal, and you can see the terminal configuration. Okay, so you can go for very big. Now the switch is in user executive mode. In this only a few commands can be executed here. Only show commands can be executed. So first I want to configure a device. First I want to enable the switch here by using the enable command. So now the switch is configured to the privilege mode. Okay, the symbol is changed from getter to the hash. Now it is in a privilege mode. So I want to configure a terminal. Config T shortcut you can use, or configure terminal I can use. So I want to give some host name for my switch, S1. Now the switch name is changed to S1 here, you can see here. And I want to secure privilege executive mode. So I want to enable secret class. Secret password is class here. And I want to secure user executive mode. The command is line console 0. So I want to give the password. So I can give the Cisco. Any password you can give, but remember. Then to secure remote telnet or SSH access, I want to give line VTY. The port supports is 0 to 15 ports, and password I can give again Cisco. To activate the password, to save the password, login. So it is in a configuration line mode here. It is a global configuration. First I enter into the enable, then configure terminal into global configuration mode, then enable secret class. Enable secret class generally used for securing the privilege executive mode, and for securing user executive mode I am using the line console 0 and password Cisco, and for securing remote telnet or SSH access I am using line VTI 0 to 15, password Cisco, login here. To secure all passwords in a console, in a configuration file, I can use the service password encryption. Okay, for securing all passwords in a configuration file. So I want to provide some legal notification. I can use the banner MOTD. Okay, so I can type some command no authorized user, authorized access allowed. Again I can come end with the hash command. So MOTD okay, give the space. Now I want to configure the management SVI, switch virtual interface. So I want to go for the configuration mode again. It is already in configuration mode. So for configuring management SVI interface, VLAN 1. So I want to give the IP address for the switch. IP address So I can give the IP address 192.168.10.50 and subnet mask as 255.255.25.0. Okay, then no shutdown. To up the port, so you can see the interface VLAN change to up. Okay, the link is up now. Wait for a few minutes, and this is all about the configuration as well as for the switch as well as the router. These are commands used for same for the switch as well as the router. To view device information, okay, we want to go for the again privilege mode, user privilege mode. So you can exit, again exit to go back. Now we can use the show running config. So how many running config shows the router or switch current configuration. Okay, I use the enable secret 5 service password encryption. So secret 5, the class is like this, and you can see how many interfaces are there. 0 to 15 now. So 15 ports you can see, interfaces you can see. So it supports 24. Okay, the IP address I am given is IP address 192.168.10.50 and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So binary MOTD also I have allowed. No authorized access is allowed here. So line console, I given the password. It is encrypted. For line VTI 0 to 40, 04 and 5 to 15. Okay, it is already saved. So you can also show interfaces command. I can use the show interfaces command, which shows all interfaces, shows the displays interface and their statuses here. So more you can see. So Control Z and show protocol, show version. So you can see the version of the switch. Basic Ethernet MAC is 00E0.A3B3.6303 and motherboard assembly number, power supply part, so serial port number. So these versions can be seen here, and switch ports are 26. Model is 2960. Version is 12.2. The version is. So I can configure the show commands to configure SSH, verify SSH support, use SSH, use show IP SSH, show IP SSH. So it is disabled. So I want to configure the IP domain here in global configuration mode. Again configure T. So IP domain name cisco.com. So I want to generate IP domain name, configure an IP domain name of the network using IP domain name cisco.com in the global configuration mode. Now generate RSA key bits by using crypto key generate RSA. RSA stands for Reversed Shamir Adelman in global configuration mode to enable SSH server on the switch and generate RSA key pair here. Okay, so how many bits in a modus? So I can give 1024 bits. So generated 1024 bits RSA keys will be non-explorable. So now configure user authentication, username, admin, secret, CCNA, and give the password. So username is admin and password is CCNA. So generally this configuring user authentication user for SSH server can authenticate using locally or by using the authentication server. For local authentication method, I am using the username as a password as a pair here. Username is a admin and the password is a CCNA. So it is enabled now. So I want to configure VTI lines. So line in a global configuration only, line VTI 0 to 15 ports I want to configure. And to enable this SSH protocol on VTI lines, I want to use the transport input SSH command in a line configuration mode to enable SSH protocol on VTI lines. I am using transport input SSH, then login local to enable that. Now we can exit. So to enable generally the Catalyst 2960 has VTI lines ranging from 0 to 15 here, and to enable the version I can use the IP SSH version 2. So exit. So this is all about the simple configuration of a switch or a router. Thank you.